Alright, Schlockmeister fans, another review of my previous channel. Let's scare Jessica to death. Let's check it out.
I sit here and I can't believe that it happened. And yet I have to believe it. Dreams or nightmares.
So Jessica, her husband, and their friend are going to this Connecticut town to start over. And she sees a creepy girl at the cemetery. Jessica just got out of a mental hospital. She was in there for a while. So they're moving to this island to start a new future. The locals aren't exactly warm to them.
Transportation.
Look at those bandages. I think these guys are left over from the Civil War.
You hear whispers.
Jessica, why have you come here?
Is she going crazy again? Anyway, inside the home they find a squatter, a girl named Emily.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, sure.
They invite her to stay
I haven't been there for a long time.
and have dinner with her.
I'm not sure I'm ready to go back yet.
So naturally they decide to have a seance.
Calling on all the spirits of everyone who's ever died in this house.
One day Jessica's swimming in the water and she thinks she happens upon a body. And we hear more whispers of Jessica. Of course they investigate and find nothing. But we do see that girl.
You're going to sell
They
this?
find an old picture.
We hope so.
But they're people. They have history.
There's a lot of weirdness in town. I think that's a death. People just act strange around them.
Who'd you deal with, old Harold?
He tells a story about a girl who drowned years
An
ago.
agent showed me the place. Why?
He tell you the stories about Abigail Bishop drowning, 1880 and all that? It's quite a story.
She drowned in the cove behind her house. Your house, I mean. Never found her body. The legend is that she's still alive. It's a more.
It has no eyes. Doctor, get a container so we can...
Meanwhile, back in the water, could this be the mysterious Abigail who drowned 100 years earlier? Jessica sees that weird girl out there again, and she beckons her to follow, and then when she does, she finds herself a dead body. Of course, when they come back to look, the body's gone. Is it in her head? Is she going crazy? Is that girl real? They do catch up with her. She eludes them. Jessica thinks she might be losing her mind again. That mole she grabbed before is now no more. Is Emily moving in on Jessica's husband?
I'm still alive.
Abigail never got to wear that wedding dress. Drowned in the cove.
Looking at the picture. Looks so much like you.
My lord, it does. Gee, oh, weird.
So the two ladies go swimming and Emily gets weird.
You okay?
No, that's all right.
Please.
Emily disappeared for a bit, and then this happens. She leans in for a bite.
Hi.
Jessica took off and ran into town, hitched a ride.
I thought everybody had gone.
Jessica goes into town and discovers that everybody in town has cuts on themselves, either on the arms, the face. Comes back home to her husband, starts to make out with him until she notices he's got the same cut.
It's
Then things get weird again. Jessica takes off, tries to get help. At this point, she wants off the island.
Prairie isn't running for you.
She finds a little rowboat and takes off, but she's not alone. As he rolls over, I believe that's her husband, Duncan.
I sit here and I can't believe that it happened. And yet I have to believe it.
All right, let's talk about this movie. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Now, this is a movie that I think I rented it and copied it actually probably around 1990-ish or so. Didn't actually watch the movie until maybe the mid-90s, and I've seen maybe a couple times since then. It's a 1971 horror movie filmed in Connecticut, and it's about this woman, Jessica, who has had some psychological problems. She's been in a nut house for a little bit, I guess. She and her husband decide to move, basically start a new life somewhere in Connecticut, and their friend comes along with them, and they move into this kind of spooky old house on this island. Now, everybody on this island is just a little bit odd. They don't seem to like outsiders that much. They're just a little bit creepy overall. They find a woman living in the house, kind of squatting, I guess you could say. They invite her to live with her. Her name is Emily, I believe. And she's a little odd, too. They learn in town that there was a woman who apparently died 100 years earlier, drowned. Her name was Abigail, and there's a photo of her. I think they live in the house where Abigail allegedly lived at that time. They find like a photograph up in the attic for her. She was like maybe 20 years old, maybe a teenager, I'm not sure, when she allegedly drowned. They never found the body. Now, one time when Jessica goes swimming, she seems to come across a body in the water, freaks out, of course, and the body seems to disappear. Later on, she sees this other weird girl, kind of like dressed in white, like in a nightie almost, beckoning her to come look, and then she sees this dead body. Then she comes back later on with everybody else, and of course the body's gone and nothing there. So she starts to wonder, is she freaking out? Is she having is she going crazy, or is something really happening? Well, again, there's rumors also that this girl who drowned, since they never found the body, perhaps she's a vampire, and she's been kind of running around the countryside here and there. So later on in the movie, as she kind of wanders through town, she finds people having these big scars on their face or on their neck or something, which kind of vampirism, kind of not. And then she goes back to her husband, and then she's in bed with her, and all of a sudden he seems to like go for her neck a little bit, and he's got a big scar on the side of his face. She freaks out. She leaves. She tries to leave the island. She wants to get on the ferry, and the ferryman's like, "There's no ferry for you." And then she takes off running. She finds herself a rowboat, and she starts to row into the water. And then as she looks back at the land, she sees 8 or 9 people from town just kind of standing there still looking at her. And that's basically how our movie ends. So that is Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Now, again, this movie has a creepy vibe. I have a feeling this is kind of the movie that if you saw it on late night television as a kid, it kind of stuck with you and stuck with you forever. That's the kind of thing. Now, I didn't have that because I never did see this movie until like the mid-90s or so. So I didn't have that sort of nostalgia with it, but it definitely does have a creepy vibe to it. Was it vampirism? I don't know. I mean, the people are around in the daytime, so it's not your traditional vampires. It's just, I think the fact that there's all these unanswered questions, and it's just kind of lends to that creepiness factor to it. You just don't know. You don't know the answers as to what's going on, and that's just kind of scary. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, Let's Scare Jessica to Death. I've had this. Actually, I think somebody sent me this DVD. Actually, I think I got it for free. So thank you, whoever sent that to me. And it has been released on Blu-ray since then as well. So that might be a decent one to pick up because it's a pretty decent flick. Now, there's no nudity in this movie. There's no real violence in this movie. There's a few scars. It's just more of like a psychological horror type of thing, and it's pretty good. So anyway, that's it. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. I will leave a link on Amazon to hopefully the Blu-ray. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about it. Watch it. Bye.